What's up, everyone? Welcome to Sunrise Extra on a Monday, July 13th.
Hey.
Thank you for joining us. Grab a cup of coffee, whatever you got. Join us. We love chatting live with you and reading your comments. We are on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Drew, I don't know if you're monitoring the text line at all.
I am with this piece of equipment right here.
Yeah, if it's easier for you to text us, 503-226-5088. Today's topic: what do you think of pro sports returning right now? So over the weekend, we had the big MLS back tournament start up down in Florida. The Timbers play tonight against the LA Galaxy at 7:30.
Yes.
We also have the NBA down in their bubble in the same complex.
Separate bubbles.
Now. Separate bubbles. Down at the same facility in Orlando, and they're going to start their play here pretty soon. Blazers' first game, July 31st. What do you think? Is this stupid? Is this, a way to make money for a lot of other people who aren't there on the court and spitting in each other's faces? Or do you think it's fine? If they are fine with it and the players are going along with it, then let them do it. Let us know. How do you guys feel?
Well,
are you excited to see sports?
I was going to say, when Nina asks this question, yes, she can see Rod and I, and we will answer the question as well. But this is really a question for our viewers. So jump in right now, because I think it really comes down to one of two camps, right? There's the one camp that says, I'd like to get back to some normalcy. Sports, to me, is normal in this country, and I would like to see it so that I feel normal again. And then there's another camp that says, I don't care what makes you feel normal. We shouldn't be doing this because it's just not healthy. It's just not safe. It's just not the right thing to do right now. So maybe you're somewhere in the middle. That's quite possible. But we want to hear whether you believe this is a good idea or whether you don't. And it is interesting to see. I don't know. I mean, I want to see it happen. I'm a sports fan. I know Rod Hill, like myself, is a big sports fan. You might even call us sports geeks, Nina, to where we oftentimes will spend our entire evenings at home going through the programming channels to see what sports we can watch right now.
Yeah.
Giving up quality time with our families to watch grown men play sports. So I do want to see it, but I also recognize that this has to be done absolutely cautiously. And the minute there's I'll call it a screw up, and by that I mean someone who kind of goes outside that bubble and maybe gets coronavirus and brings it back into the bubble, then the whole thing's off. Two teams in the MLS tournament have already backed out. You start losing many more teams and you just can't have a tournament. So I'm waiting to see if they can actually get to the finish line with this idea. But as a sports fan, I do still want to see this happen, and I'm hoping that everyone involved, from the players to the team management to the people that are involved in getting the team ready to play these games each night, that they can do this in a safe manner and everyone can stay healthy.
Rod, what's your take?
Yeah. Well, of course, I'm a big sports fan, as Drew mentioned, and one of the sports I follow closely was the first sport to get back into action. I think that's a true statement. Golf,
yes.
That has been going for, I don't know, about a month now. Interesting. So coming up this week is the tournament that pro-famed golfer Jack Nicklaus hosts at his course outside of Columbus, Ohio. And several weeks back, it was said that they were going to allow, I think, up to 2,000. I think the number was 2,000. I might be wrong. But they were going to be allowing some spectators in, which was big news. And then either last week or the week before, nope, they pulled the plug on that as the positive test of the virus started to spike. And now it will be like the other golf tournaments with just the professional sports. But I guess it's important to mention, spectators are not being allowed into any of these professional sports. I think that's a true statement, at least in this country. So to me, it comes down to if the employees, the professional athletes, are overwhelmingly okay with it. If they're not being, if an athlete that's not comfortable with it is not being pressured to just, say, no, I can't do this, then I think it's okay. Again, it's like, it's a private company and they're not allowing the people to come in. And it does seem like that most of these companies, the NBA bubble in Orlando, even though Orlando's, of course, in a high state right now of activity, that they are doing their best to, minimize any danger to their athletes, hence that term bubble.
Right.
So that's my thought.
Yeah.
Jennifer Taft is one of the regular contributors to us.
I like her comment today, yeah.
And she always has thoughtful comments on our Facebook stream during Sunrise Extra. Good morning, Jennifer. I know you're watching us. Thank you for doing that. She says, I feel a little like we're paying to watch people put themselves at risk for our amusement. She also says she's not a sports person. And she makes a great point, right? I will say this, for the NBA, for example, players had the choice to participate or not, right? So no one is being forced to do this. You don't get kicked off the team if you decide you don't want to play. Of course, you won't get paid if you decide not to participate, but every player in the league had that option to play or not play, and I know some have taken that option for whatever the reason. Some of them have stated they have close relatives, a wife, a child, whoever, who may be at risk, at higher risk, and so they decided it's just not worth it for them. So I, to Jennifer's point, at least I know players have been given an option, and anyone who is down there right now is doing this completely by choice.
That's the good part. I want to throw up a couple, because we did a post this morning on Facebook asking, what do you think of sports returning right now? And we got some good comments. John Kimes says, if you take the proper precautions and use proper PPE, yes. After all, they are not out in the general public. There are no fans. Melissa says, I would love to see sports, but I think it's not safe for anyone to be in groups right now. All you have to do is look at the new positive cases growing each day. Over 1,400 in Washington yesterday, 15,000 in Florida the other day. Sad and scary. And let's choose a few more if we have them. Elizabeth says, if people are allowed to protest, everything should be open with no restrictions on mass spacing, etc. Time to reopen and kick off life as normal pre-pandemic. Do we have a couple more? Lorna says it's irresponsible. And Dave says, great, could care less. He will not be watching. So what do you guys think? Weigh in here. Let me try and see if I can refresh our YouTube page because it wasn't giving me any live comments. Oh, on Twitter. One of my favorite people's names, I'm Your Pirate, says, I'm okay with sports with face masks required. Probably no food or drink. Let's see. Those fans over 65 can trade tickets to younger family members for one season in 2021. That's a good idea. I wonder if anyone, do you think, oh boy, Rod, what are you doing?
I think he's got a Louisville Slugger in his hands, Nina.
No, hey, Drew will appreciate this. So, Drew?
Yes?
This is the bat that my grandfather used when he played club baseball in Iowa back in the 19-teens.
Oh, wow.
Oh my,
so it's a cool family.
Like
heirloom.
World War I era?
Yeah. Yeah, that's correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're holding a 100-year-old bat in your hands.
I am. That's the most athletic move I have, just holding the bat. I'm not very good at swinging it, but I hold it quite well.
Wow.
I could actually run downstairs if I had a moment. I could run downstairs into the trunk of my car, and I too have a baseball bat I could grab. So Nina, could you grab one, and then all three of us could? Then I won't bother. I won't bother then.
I have a yoga mat for you. What was I going to? Now I completely lost my train of thought because of the baseball. I looked up and I was like, oh my gosh, what is he holding?
We're asking for our viewers.
Oh, I was wondering, do you think any players will wear masks like during an NBA game? I'm sure they can wear a mask.
You know what? I don't know. I haven't heard anything about the NBA. I will tell you for Major League Baseball, which is also going to get going here, actually before the NBA does. Major League Baseball is set to get going a week from this Friday. So they will be the first of the major team sports. I guess I don't include soccer in that, and soccer fans will hate me for that. But I'm thinking about football, basketball, baseball, and hockey. Baseball is back as of next Friday. Anyways, I've heard from players who said they may very well wear masks.
I would think it'd be easier in baseball because there's a lot more. There's more standing around.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Than, like exertion. Of the. Batters.
And those teams are also in sort of a summer training. They used to do spring training, and now it's been moved to summer. So they're in summer training, and I've heard from players who are already wearing the masks during the training, and some players wearing masks have led other players who weren't even thinking about it to start considering maybe I should wear the mask too.
It might be a good. If you can get a cloth one that's semi kind of breathable. If people have to wear them in our gyms, in most states, you have to wear it while working out. I would just think it's a kind of a no-brainer. Like, why not try and wear one? It's going to be harder in those, basketball style where you're like running back and forth and breathing hard. But that's the reason to wear it.
And this shouldn't be the reason for wearing one, but I'm sure that if the first Major League player of that season that gets going next Friday, if they step up to the plate and hit a home run while wearing a mask, everyone's going to grab a mask and put one on and go.
You're on a box of Wheaties automatically, huh?
Maybe I should wear the mask too. Mask brings strength.
Yeah, it's true. It is good, model.
Hey, you know who we heard from this morning on the text line?
Oh, yes, please.
I'm monitoring the text line
is
by
it
way of
Bubba?
my. It is Bubba.
No, Bubba!
Bubba's back.
What's
Haven't heard from
up?
Bubba in months. Bubba didn't have much to say today. In fact, I don't quite understand his comment, but the fact is, Bubba chimed in. You can text us right now. There's the number on the screen, 503-226-5088. Perhaps you'll find that's the easiest way to participate in this game we call Sunrise Extra. Bubba simply said, woohoo, I'm ready for some football. And then he says, go Oilers. And I can tell you, Nina, the Oilers haven't played a football game in about 2 decades. They left Houston about 2 decades ago and never
that's
returned.
Right. That's
they were
right.
eventually
I was gonna say, Oilers.
Yeah, they were eventually replaced by the Houston Texans. So, Bubba, are you trying to be funny after all these months of being away from us? Are you just trying to
It's
be
like the
funny
people
this
who
morning?
still love the Seattle Sonics, you know?
Yep.
I mean, I would be excited to see, I'm excited to watch the NBA. It looks so weird, like the pictures that you see, it looks like they just put like hardwood court down in like a banquet room on top of carpet. Have you seen those pictures?
I have not.
And it looks like you couldn't, like if they accidentally threw the ball too high, you know, for a lob or something like that, like it's gonna hit the ceiling, like it looks bizarre. And so I'm interested to see the games. I love the NBA, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like Jennifer Taft just said, like I feel gross almost for being excited about it because of the circumstances.
Well, you know, our one of our managers here in the Sunrise Show. Go ahead, Rod. You go first.
No, but isn't it true? And Drew, you probably kept up on this even more than I have. But isn't it true? Are they getting their temperature taken every day? I mean, it's not like these people are being exposed to other people. The NBA has really done a good job, it seems like, of keeping everybody quarantined in the group, and the entire group is getting tested often, if not, in fact, daily. So I mean, a healthy person doesn't infect a healthy person. And if we know these people are all healthy and they truly are being quarantined, I mean, personally, I don't see where the risk would be that high, but obviously we don't know. We'll see how it all plays out in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
You've got the basketball situation in Florida in a bubble. You've got MLS soccer, like the Timbers playing tonight in Florida as well, in their own bubble. Baseball, which I brought up today on the show, is doing it differently because those teams are actually going to play in major league stadiums throughout the country, which means travel will be involved. They are limiting the travel. The East Coast teams are only going to play on the East Coast for their 60-game schedule. West Coast teams only playing on the West Coast, but Paul was saying, our manager, I started to bring this up a minute ago, Paul Kenny. Now, I don't know, Nina or Rod, what Paul's official title here is at the station, but I just call him one of our managers. Paul says, hey, it is the travel that's the big deal. The buses, the planes that those teams are going to take, all those closed spaces and the workout areas where people can't help but share close space.
Yeah.
So I am curious to see about baseball, especially when those teams have to get on a bus or get on a plane and travel to another area. You can't avoid being in a tight space.
Because the staff, like at Walt Disney World, they're going home every night, and I'm, doubly sure that they're getting tested every day. But you just never know. I don't know. But I want to throw up that picture because our director Brian found. Look at this. So you guys, these are the courts. I mean, this is like where you would have your Christmas party or something. There's the carpet on the right-hand side. The floor is over.
Looks like a convention center.
Those dudes are so tall. Like, you throw a ball to the other end of the court and you risk like hitting the ceiling or something.
Oh, wow.
Isn't it weird?
Wait a minute now. I can't imagine that they're playing a game, one of two things.
These I know for sure these are where they're practicing. I don't know if this is where the actual games, like this court, will be where the real games happen. I would imagine they don't have extra.
Is it possible that the ceiling is not as low as it looks? Maybe the angle of this picture is such that the ceiling is actually higher than it appears, because that is odd. No doubt about it.
Isn't that weird?
And then, like you said, I need confirmation.
But that's a banquet room, right?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's a regular banquet room.
So where are they
we've
playing
all seen
soccer? Is
banquet
it an
rooms
outdoor field? I don't know if you know.
I'm going to call either Damien or CJ right now.
Call
real
him
quick.
up.
I'm not sure which one I'll call here.
Jennifer Taft says she's having a prom flashback. It does look like where you had prom at, for real. It's very weird. And I love seeing like the posts about the meals, because once the guys get there, they are quarantined in their hotel room for, I think it was like 48 hours or something, to make sure, after the travel, that they are not exposed to anyone else. And so they were getting these little delivered meals. It was just like an airplane meal. And these guys are, however, almost 7 feet tall. And they had like a little spinach salad that was this big, with some, toppings, and like a bag of chips and dried apples, and that was dinner. It's just like, I would be starving eating something like
You
that.
were bringing that up last week. You asked if I had seen that, which
I'm
I
still
hadn't.
shocked.
But you're like, Drew, this meal would not even suffice you or I, let alone a
Yeah.
big 7'2" guy.
Exactly.
Well, no, I understand. Kentucky Fried Chicken is working on getting a bucket of chicken to each player 3 times a day. They'll be fine.
We need to send one to your house, Rod.
Okay, so here's the deal. Michelle, is it Michelle? Yes. Michelle Coffey says, I've been there. So I need more from Michelle on this, because she says she's actually been to that bubble down there
do
in
tell.
Florida. She says the ceilings are higher than they
Okay.
look, number one. I thought that might be the
Okay.
case. She also says it is not a banquet room, and she kind of has that laughing emoji. Laughing at us, she is. So give us some more detail, Michelle. Why were you there, number one? What were you doing there?
Like a convention room, probably, or something.
And give us more detail on the actual playing surface and the playing area where we're going to see some of these NBA games. If you can chime in, that'd be great.
Yeah, maybe it is a convention. Jennifer Taft on Facebook. Can I be in the bubble with meals and no family? I like that.
Renee Lopez checks in today. Good morning, Renee Lopez.
Oh, there's the meal that I was talking about.
There you go.
There's a spinach salad, bottom left, the little accoutrements on the right, some watermelon chips, and like a dried apple bag, top middle.
So it's sitting on a tray there. I
Yep,
can tell.
that's
And then
it.
what was the tray sitting on? Like some kind of bedspread?
Oh, wow.
Well, he just set it down on his bed to take a picture of it.
Okay, got it. Renee, I can hear our producer Sam laughing like
What are you talking
25 feet away in another room. But anyways, Renee Lopez says, I'm excited that MLS is back. She says, I've been watching it, and she says that the players that she has seen so far in other games, Timbers' first game tonight, but other games have happened, she says she has seen players wearing masks during these contests.
cool. Okay.
And that, in her opinion, they are being safe right now.
Man, they run so
Yes.
much in a soccer match.
You're right about that.
That would
Nina.
be hard.
That they do.
I mean, just going grocery shopping, I am like fully sweating, just like breathing gross hot air. You smell your own breath when you wear
Well,
a mask, basically, right?
I've been
whole
doing
time.
something. It took me a while to get into the swing of this, but I'm now washing my masks.
That's good.
And so it's kind of, I like putting on that fresh mask, and it smells
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the fabric softener.
Dryer sheets, yeah. I need to do that more often because I agree. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
kind of like take them off and leave them in the car, and that's not the point.
Yeah,
of
the next time, no good. I had one more point to give you guys, and now it's escaping me. Darn it, I hate when those thoughts are in my head and they just go someplace else that doesn't
Yeah.
help us out during the Sunrise Extra show.
Don't worry, Rod's got his bat.
All right, Rod. If you could swing that bat into the center square there, Rod, maybe you could beat my head back into working order. Oh, it didn't work. I still
Am
don't know
I doing
what I
it
was
right?
gonna say.
It didn't work?
Man. Well, I'll be watching the NBA. I mean, I'm not a soccer person, so I don't really care about soccer.
Why didn't Michelle Coffey get back in here? Michelle, you said you've been there. You've got some intel on the NBA playing situation and where they're playing, but she has not checked back in. Michelle, you've got 60 seconds to weigh in on your intelligence that you have that we don't in terms of, unless I'm not refreshing this page correctly. I'll try that myself, because she says she's been there, and I don't know of anyone else who's actually been to the site where the NBA games are going to be played. NBA season starts up at the end of this month. MLS season, or this resuming of the season, they're playing a tournament right now for MLS soccer. That is already underway, and the Timbers play their first game in that tournament tonight. And as we mentioned, Major League Baseball gets underway starting next weekend, next Friday.
Yep. And if you guys are following coronavirus in Oregon today at 11 o'clock, Governor Kate Brown going to be having a press conference about those latest cases over the weekend. 409 reported on Saturday. They have a new kind of reporting system that is supposedly more efficient, and we had 332 on Sunday, so things are going up. Hospitalizations still good. We're still got plenty of room there, so that is the good part. 11 a.m. you can watch that on kgw.com live. Thank you guys for joining us. We will have more on the Timbers coming up tomorrow. Have a great night. Bye.